Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a full GTA 5 review. So I'll be basically just taking you through the basics of the game, how to play, what you need to know, if it's a game worth playing, and just the general idea behind GTA 5. Now, before GTA 5, I don't think Grand Theft Auto was that amazing. I mean, the last one I played all of them, but GTA 4 was one I really enjoyed. That was Liberty City. Unfortunately, I was unable to buy it or purchase it on the App Store on PS4 because I played it on PS3. So when GTA 5 came out, I was so excited. I am still happy about the game. I mean, it's an ongoing game. It's a fun game to play. So let's get into it. Okay, so just so I don't miss anything out, when you buy your GTA 5, this is pretty much the pack. My CD is currently in the player right now. So when you open it up, you have a few cards. You have the full map, you have the full Los Santos map, and you have like a GTA, like a Grand Theft Auto online guide or something, and just another paperwork. But I will be working with the map so I don't forget like anything critical, because there's a lot to the game, guys. Like, it's a lot. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so I think the first thing I'll talk about on GTA 5 is the story mode. The story is basically a story of three, should I say bank robbers? I'll say three hustlers just trying to just make it in Los Santos. So you have Michael, the white guy. He has history with the second player, which is Trevor. So as the player, you get to play as three different characters. So the characters are Trevor, Michael, and Franklin. Now, I think the game opens up with Michael and Franklin. Franklin is the black guy, Michael is the white guy, upper side, living large in Los Santos. Franklin is the guy just trying to survive the streets and just make it work, right? So they run into each other some way, somehow. So I think Franklin is working for some guy that repos cars. He sells you cars at exorbitant prices, and then Franklin and his friend Lemar have to go and repo those cars back. So you have all those repo missions. You run into Michael because now Michael's son buys a car and Franklin has to repo it. So that's how Franklin and Michael meet for the first time, and then they start to do jobs together. And then later on in the game, Trevor comes up. Trevor is apparently Michael's friend from back in the day. So sorry, the game opens up with a bank robbery 10 years ago. So that's where that's where you meet Michael, Trevor, and Brad. So Trevor comes up later in the game. You do some other Trevor missions. Trevor is an entrepreneur. He lives in Sandy Shores, other part of town. And yeah, you can play as three players, three of them. They all have individual tasks. They all have group tasks together. And in those group missions, they're usually, maybe you're robbing a jewelry store, you're robbing a bank, you're trying to kill someone, a bad guy or something. So in those missions, you can switch between all three players. But it's easier when you start playing than maybe how it sounds now. But I think the fact that the story is that dynamic, and I think this is the first time you get to play as three different people, so it's super interesting. During missions, you can switch players, you can do whatever you like, really. It's an open world adventure game. So that's the summary of the storyline. So beyond the storyline, each character then has like individual tasks, individual friends. There's some missions called friends and strangers, like strangers and freaks, sorry. So each character has different strangers that they run into. Franklin runs into some guy called Dom that likes to skydive around Los Santos. Michael runs into some other crazy characters. So there's different missions. So there's like, even after the story ends, there's still stuff to be done. Okay, so this is basically the Los Santos map. It basically just shows you, like, up here, if you open the game and you're on the pause menu, you can easily see the map there as well. So you basically have clothing, tattoo, barber. So you can take either of your characters to get any kind of clothes you want them to be wearing. Ponsby's is like the most expensive place to buy clothes from. I think they sell clothes an average of like $3,000. So when your character, I think Michael is the only one. Michael and Trevor can afford Ponsby's when the game starts. Franklin really can't. There's also Suburban. Suburban is another place where they sell like nice clothes, but not as good. Fundspace is like the best place to go, really. Then there's other like random places where you just see like random shirts, branded shirts and stuff like that. So there's those. You have the barber's shop, you have ammunition. Ammunition is where you buy your guns. You have the automotive shop, that's where you basically change up your cars. In previous GTA games, when you're being chased by cops, you run into the automotive shop to hide, and then 6 hours would pass and then you can come out back. That's different in GTA5. GTA5, the shops are really just for you to go in there and, you know, clean up your car, get whatever you want to get on your car, bulletproof tires, tinted glass windows, change the colors, just do whatever. So that's for all for shopping. For entertainment, you have the strip club and the cinema. So you can either go to the strip club with any of your players, you know, pay for some dances and just relax, or you can catch a movie at the cinema. You can actually catch a movie at the cinema. The movies are, I think, in-game maybe like 5-10 minutes, but in real life it's probably like a minute or two, like the whole movie. So it's something you can try out. And then for local services, there's the police station, there's the hospital, there's the car wash, and there's also, I think the police station is also where you go if your car is impounded. So each character starts the game with their own unique vehicle. So no matter what mission you do, if you drive your car there but you didn't drive it away, or you drove your car there and you escaped, you know, some other way, or you stole a car, because I mean it's called grand theft auto at the end of the day, so you stole another car, your original character car would always, you know, mod back at your safe house. It's when you buy a car online in the game. It's when you buy a car online, or you steal a car and you drive it for a while and you leave it somewhere. That's when you have to go to the impound station to pick it up, because it's probably been impounded. I think it costs about $200 to $250 to get a car back from a car or bike back from when it's been impounded. And the hospital is pretty much where you wake up when one of the characters dies on a non-mission. So if you're on a mission and your character dies, you can just click retry and keep retrying until you get it right. But if maybe you were just walking on the road minding your business and somehow you got into a fight or whatever it is, and you just, you know, you waste the character or the character dies, you wake up at the nearest hospital to that location. If your health meter is also low, you can actually dial 911 and an ambulance will come and treat you. But it's very expensive. I think it's deliberate that it's very expensive that way. So the ambulance services are usually expensive. So the cheaper way to go is go back home. There's always going to be some sort of, you know, health bar that you can walk into, and then your health life just regenerates. Or you buy a body armor from the gun store and you're good. But if you want to just try it out and see what it's like, dial 911 and the ambulance will actually come and help you out. So under activities, you have parachuting, darts, flight school. So some of the missions have a lot of flying. I think in the game story, Trevor used to be in the military. I think he told that story on one of the missions. I think he used to be in the military. He was one of their best pilots ever, and they kicked him out obviously because he's a psycho and he's just not normal. When you play the game, you realize that Trevor is actually just not normal. So I think he got kicked out, but he's supposed to be really good at flying. So a lot of missions require Trevor to fly. Some other characters can also fly. I think Michael also has one mission where he has to fly. I think when he takes over the missions at the studio, there's some studio missions for Michael. He has to fly in one of those missions. So it's super easy to fly. I'll be taking you guys through the controls shortly. But there's also flight school to go and learn. So if you want to get more skills, learn how to fly under bridges, there's a lot. I mean, even during the regular story, there's so many little tasks, little challenges. If you notice, there's some places in the city in Los Santos where you can perform stunt jumps. So if you're driving somewhere, you just see some open space, do a stunt jump. There's like 50 stunt jumps around. There's also flight school if you want to like learn how to fly. I think you have to fly under like 50 bridges to get some sort of trophy or medal. There's a lot of like little medals to be won in different places. So there's parachuting, there's darts, flying school, golf. So there's also the golf place. I think that, I don't want to jump the gun here, but okay, I'll get back to that. So there's golfing, there's shooting range. Shooting ranges can be found where they sell guns at some gun stores. So if you want to learn how to shoot better, you want to learn how to, you know, get the headshots quicker, you can totally do like a shooting range task, and you can learn how to shoot with like moving targets and stuff like that. There's also races. Races range from car racing to sea racing. You can race with sea sharks, you can race with I think donkeys. Like if you get into a particular kind of car and you unlock a particular, when you do a certain mission, the game will often tell you, oh, you've unlocked XYZ kind of races, and these races can be found in these places. So if you go on the pause menu in the game on your map, you see where all those different races are. You can partake in whatever races that you like. There's many underground races and stuff like that. There's tennis. You can play tennis. Michael can play tennis with his wife. So if you just walk into the tennis court, an opponent will often just appear, and you can totally do that. There's the triathlon. The triathlon is unlocked when, I think it's Franklin now. When Franklin runs into a stranger, I think her name is Marianne or something. She's like some really crazy lady that is into like bodybuilding and fitness. So she does the first triathlon with Michael, and after that, I think you can now start to do like triathlon races throughout the game. There's yoga. I know that you can do yoga in Michael's house with his wife again, but I'm sure there's other, like if you just see the yoga map, once you do it, there's a particular mission where Michael has to like fight off the yoga instructor because he's banging his wife. So after that mission, yoga becomes available. There's hunting. So hunting becomes available after Trevor does a mission with Cletus. Cletus is a stranger that Trevor runs into, and Cletus is just like into like, you know, hunting deers and, you know, just shooting at stuff with like sniper rifles. So the moment Trevor does those stranger missions with Cletus, you can unlock hunting. So I think Trevor, even after those missions, Cletus will tell Trevor, go ahead, you know, anything you find, send me a picture. When you shoot a deer, send a picture. Yes, you can, you know, do stuff, take pictures on your phone in the game and send it to Cletus, and I think you get a reward. I haven't done those yet, so I'm not sure, but there's hunting. So you just go into the forest and just shoot a game. Points of interest. There's properties for sale. Now this is where it gets interesting. There is real estate in GTA 5. So basically, each character, there's about 20, I think 21 or 23 properties available for purchase. It ranges from restaurants to so there's a cab company, there's a restaurant. Let me try and see if they're all here so I can list them out correctly. There's bars, there's restaurants, there's the golf. There's the golf course. You can buy 3 cinemas. There's 3 cinemas to be purchased. There's golf courses, there's garages. So if you want to purchase cars online using each character's mobile phone, when you buy a car or a bike or anything, it automatically gets delivered to your garage. So there's 3 garages to be purchased for each character. You can purchase a space to park a boat or a yacht as well at the where's that now? At the beach or something like that. There's what else? You can buy a hangar if you want to buy like a plane or a chopper online. There's a lot of properties. I'm not seeing the properties here, but I think I've listed most of them. So the best time to buy most of the properties will be at the end of the story. That's the funny thing. So at the end of the story, the 3 characters do something called the big one. They rob the Union Depository and they steal gold, like raw gold bars. You can make as much as, I think the last one I played, each character made $25 million. And when you make that money, there's a guy called Lester. Now Lester has some assassination missions for Franklin where he tells Franklin to kill a particular person, and killing that person affects the stock prices. So just save all your Lester missions till after the game. If you watch my GTA 5 walkthrough in the link below, I'm sure you will see what I'm talking about. So after the full story is done, you can then play all the Lester missions. But you don't need to play those missions to continue the story. So when you play those, before you do each Lester mission, just watch my videos, check what you should invest in before you kill the person and after. So I think the first Lester mission to be played after the game is something called Debonair Cigarettes and Redwood Cigarettes. I think Redwood Cigarettes is trying to like throw a class action suit, and then Lester tells Franklin to kill three corrupt members of the jury. So when he kills those 3 guys, before he kills them, he has to invest in red independent cigarettes first. And then you have to advance the game, keep sleeping and waking up with the characters, advance the game for like 3 days. Stock prices, I think they go up as much as 100%. So at the end of the game, you can basically multiply that $25 million to like 1.2 billion by the time you're done. So after that, then you can purchase most of Michael has this dream of owning cinemas. He's into like movies and filmmaking and TV and stuff. So he wants to buy all 3 cinemas and all that. They can buy those, and they're all $10 million each. So I'm sure when you see the price, you're probably wondering, how will I afford this money? It's at the end of the story. Franklin, I think he wants to buy like smaller businesses, the Downtown Cab Company, where you can fix up your cars, Los Santos Customs, and I think you can purchase some other bars and restaurants for Franklin. Trevor, because he's like the more chopper person, he flies and all that, you would probably be able to buy him the Airstrip, the Hangar, and a few other bars, the Hen Place and a few other bars like that. There's a place called Tequila La. You can buy him that. When you also play the game, you notice that Trevor has like this really bad relationship with bikers. The bikers, funny enough, were in GTA4, the Lost. So because of that, Trevor cannot buy Cookies. Cookies is the bar where they hang out. But if Trevor is walking past Cookies, you just see some red guys start shooting him for no reason. So that's because, he's on their bad side. So there's also properties and real estate for you to purchase. When you purchase these properties, every week, each property has revenue that they deposit in the player's account. So the more expensive the property, the more money that they deposit. I know for the cab company, Franklin can buy that one before the game is over because there's a lot of interesting missions with that. So it's about $200,000 or something. So when you buy that one, I think Franklin gets $5,000 weekly from that property, and the list just goes on. So every week you just get an SMS saying, oh, your properties have paid you XY amount of money. So after you finish the story, there's, like I said, there's a lot more because you have to do the Leicester missions, make the money, buy those properties, manage them, and do your strangers and freaks missions. Just get a lot more stuff done because I think the story itself is just 60% completion. 40% of the game is all these random things that happen. I mean, you can literally be driving on the road and then some lady just stops you and says, oh, she needs help. Can you please drive her from point A to point B? You drive that person there, you hear something else. Trust me, you guys, this game was created by masterminds because it's open world, it's interesting, anything could literally happen at any time. And it's a really nice game to just while away time. It's adventure, like I said. It's a really good way to just blow off steam while away time. And when you know you're done, maybe you're like 100% completion and you're like, you know what, I'm tired of this game, you can switch to GTA Online. Now GTA Online, your number 1 mission in GTA Online is basically to own the best cars. My one mission in GTA is basically just open world. So your task, your mission is just get as many missions done as you can, play with other players in the world, kill anybody, rob jewelry stores, rob banks, make more money, buy the finest houses, own the best cars. It's basically your GTA game, but now opened up with other people. So you're playing with real-time players online. Anything you do can affect stock prices in real time. I know that on the story mode, you can sometimes play around with stuff. You notice some trucks drive around, sprung trucks, like different company trucks. I know that if you attack those trucks or do some certain things, you can affect stock prices, but I don't have that patience. So I didn't play those ones because money was never really the issue for me in GTA. If you actually do those missions and stuff, your characters kind of have money. You can even rob like bullion vans and stuff if you're broke, and there's other like free ways to make money. If you check my walkthroughs and you just Google in general, you'll find there are a lot of ways to make money. So I didn't really play around with the stock market prices too much, except with the Leicester missions. I think that kind of summarizes my video for GTA 5 today. Let me know what you think, you guys, if this is something you're going to actually try. I promise you it is easy, and if you're not sure, just check out my walkthrough, see how it is. And if you even try a mission and you cannot pass that space, I think once you try a mission 3 times or 5 times, there's one small icon that just says skip that comes up. You can totally skip it and continue with the story. It doesn't get better than that. So they've made the game super easy. You can select an auto aim method of shooting, which is what I do. I select auto aim, so I don't need to start shooting and trying to look for the bad guys. I just once I press the aim button and I press shoot, I'm hitting the bad guys once and for all. And then if I want to now get creative, I'll now try and just try and make it a headshot. But the auto aim function works easy for you guys. They made the game like super easy, super fun. You can't get really bored of it until maybe like 4 or 5 months after you started playing. So let me know what you think. Try it, drop your comments below, and see you guys next time. Bye.